Hello everybody, welcome back. We're going to talk about SHIB and its relationship to Ethereum at the moment. So I suppose this shouldn't really come as any surprise, but I'm going to show you something awesome. But before I show you I suppose what's going to happen with SHIB, in my opinion obviously, I'll show you Ethereum so you can understand it a bit better. So Ethereum, people think is rubbish, right? It's not moving, it's not doing anything. I don't look at charts like that. I look at charts as, I suppose, does this have a good opportunity to buy in order to sell for higher sooner rather than later, right? And that's the idea of trading, right? So I look at Ethereum as like, yeah, you haven't moved in comparison to other things right now. But what's your chart look like? Well, it looks like all the others in a way, but a bit of a delayed fuse, obviously, for a lot of these other altcoins which are sort of ahead of the pump. But when Ethereum moves, it's going to move the market because the total 2 is mostly Ethereum. So that's the total market cap of all of cryptos, excluding Bitcoin. Majority of it is Ethereum, right? So when that moves, it moves the total 2, which gives confidence to the altcoin market, and the dominance chart moves down, and then before you know it, is an undeniable snowballing effect of alt season, right? And so Ethereum's like really slow in actually moving, but when it does, it's going to add that extra oomph to all of the market. And SHIB and Ethereum are closely linked, most likely because what I'm saying affects all the altcoins, right? It's not just SHIB, right? But SHIB's also on the Ethereum blockchain, so it's built on Ethereum, and so you have this other connection, right? And you see this with other things. So sometimes you'll have like a BNB season, or you used to have those sort of things. Yeah, everything BNB would move up. So you have these associations with coins, Solana as well. Solana sort of low cap coins move when a Solana move because for some reason the confidence for those rubbish shit coins basically. The confidence is high because it's built on Solana. So anyways, you have this correlation. So we're just going to think about what Ethereum is actually doing right now. It's getting a golden cross. Looks like it's going to complete maybe Tuesday at this rate. We've got to note that this whole area down here is assuming and it looks very much like it's accumulation that's broken out now. On top of that, you've got your conversion baseline crossed above the cloud, you've got the Chiku span above the price, and obviously the price action above the cloud. So those three components give you a trend signal that kicked in here when the price was higher than where we are right now. So I wouldn't worry about that because this indicator doesn't catch the low, it doesn't give you the peak either, but it tells you when to get in and when to get out. And the only time to get out would be when the blue crosses the red again, negative, or this Chiku span goes inside the price. So if it was to dump today, we can go all the way down to 2,665. Tomorrow lower and lower still. But the main support for Ethereum is around 2,800. It could get supported at higher than that, the 200 simples up here, but you're not going to get a golden cross between that and the 50 simple, which is down here. It's the exponentials which are going to count for something as like a bullish retest if we come down into it, and that's 2,800. So if we come down to 2,800, that should be like a massive support on Ethereum. We could even get support around 2,000, wherever this is, 2008, 2009, all the way to 3,000. So it's like a golden box. So what we'll do is we'll just put a little box in there just to highlight that area, how important it is. So anywhere in there is a buy zone for Ethereum. It's all fair game. Lower here, you're in trouble at that point. It's all failed, and you've got bigger problems. So, but this is the area to buy it from, right? So let's just measure that from where we are right now to its low to give a bit of an idea. That means that Ethereum could come down like almost 10% and still be ripe for an absolute tear-up rally. And you don't think it's going to happen, but it could. And I'm just emphasising this is a really good setup here on the daily with trend signal and incoming golden crosses. Take it to a weekly, you can even see it even better than that, because on the weekly it got support on the 200 simple moving average, which is all part of a golden cross which took back way over here. So it's bullish on the weekly, bullish on the daily. You can even go back a month on the monthly chart and see that it's getting support on the 20 monthly as well, which is bullish. So it's really bullish on all these time frames, right? So I have no reason to doubt how bullish Ethereum is. I'm not saying it's going to yield you loads, which is why we're going to talk about SHIB. You forgot, didn't you? You thought I'd forgot talking about SHIB. It's not on here, it's on here. So right, so this is this little line here is SHIB price, and this is Ethereum price. So you can see the correlation is extremely high, right? Extremely high. But what you notice generally is that Obviously, this chart's not a great representation of it, but what you do notice is that SHIB is more volatile. If it decides it wants to go up, it goes up massively. But the correlation is undeniable, right? This is just after the bear market sort of peak, it goes a bit. It's a bit weird to look at these charts, But basically, what we're seeing is a correlation. Where did it find its high? That's not a good example. Where did it find its low? Yeah, more or less the same. Where did it find this low? Yeah, more or less the same. And then, just moving on to a more recent price action, we've got where it moves up from its low, moves up to its high, moves back down to its low, has a little peak, consolidates a little, finds some higher highs, some higher lows, has a massive peak, so on and so on until obviously recently. Anyway, you get the point. The two charts are almost exactly correlated. But again, that will go for a lot of altcoins. So let's have a think about SHIB and what SHIB actually looks like now. So SHIB broke out from this giant descending triangle. It's now got golden crosses from all the way back over here on simples and exponentials. So way ahead of the game versus Ethereum. So it's already in like a massive stage of bull run of its own. And we know that it likes to do these mountains and these molehills, on its moves up. So, we're looking for a consolidation on this one, perhaps maybe to the 10 that we've already seen, maybe down to these areas, maybe down to these areas, maybe all the way down to these areas. It's still got the trend signal, it's got the golden cross, it's ahead of the game. But what I'm saying is, if Ethereum decides to pull back 9% and then gets into that buy zone, then the idea, I suppose, is that SHIB gives you a buy zone wherever we are. It might not correlate to a moving average or a horizontal of significance, but it gives you the confidence, or at least me the confidence, that we're going to go for another massive move on SHIB. Because Ethereum is going to at least bounce from there, and probably even go onto a rally of its own. So it's going to cause, in my opinion, a massive rally for SHIB. Because again, the association with SHIB and the being built on Ethereum and all these sort of things, alongside the clear correlation of the price action, right? The only difference is that SHIB will be explosive, massively explosive, whereas Ethereum should also be pretty good, but it's not going to be as good. So you're going to choose between the two, and it looks to me like Ethereum's getting ready to move into a really big move. Could see its price perhaps maybe even double. It sounds impossible, but because people haven't seen it in a while, but it can happen, and it might actually happen sooner than you think, right? Within a couple of weeks, month, that sort of thing could happen, right? And the chart suggests that it's capable of doing something like that. But if that's going to double, what's this thing going to do? That's all I'm going to say. What's this thing going to do? What would the from where we are right now to the previous all-time high? That's 250%. That's pretty good. But if we break this and just power on through, we're going to shave a decimal point off this. This is going to go crazy. So I can't sit here and give you a price target, but what I will say is it's going to outperform Ethereum most likely to a dramatic extent, and it'll form one of these or another one of these. We got these. We were in on this one because of the technicals at the beginning. I remember catching this move. I remember getting it. I didn't sell the peak. I got about 2x out of it. A decent trade. So that's not bad. And I think we might be looking at something very similar to that. Happen any minute, really. But I suppose if you really want to, give it a time limit, because you can sort of do that, the Chiku span will do that for you. So again, we've got all the way to come down here. We can come down, next week, significantly. But we really have to, for Ethereum, break out within, we're talking just over 2 weeks, 17 days, because when this Chiku span closes inside one of these candles, then the trend is officially over. This trend is all you got. But because the trend signal was generated at a high price, I expect it to go up, and I doubt this Chiku span is going to be touching this anytime soon. But if it got in there, then yeah, you'd be like, all right, okay, I was wrong. Because you're not always right. Anyway, that's a long video, but hopefully it's been useful. It's for Ethereum and SHIB, and I think both of them are going to do pretty well, relatively soon. Very soon. But if I had to pick between the two, I mean, I have both, obviously. But if I had to pick between the two, who's going to take the biggest piece of the pie? It's going to be SHIB. It's going to be SHIB. Right, I'll leave it with you there. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a nice evening. Take it easy.